Is 5:57.
Now, from tomorrow, new rules from the telecoms regulator Ofcom will force phone providers to warn consumers about the costs of calling 0870 numbers. Companies that use 0870 as well as 0844, 0845 and 0871 numbers take a share of the call charges from the phone company, so the longer you stay on the line, the more the company you're calling earns. David Hickson campaigns against premium rates and contributes to a website called sayno to0870.com. David, why the need for change?
Because a lot of people are unaware that this scam, as some people would see it, is taking place with money that you pay to make a telephone call being passed to the person who may be a doctor or a public service organisation or indeed a complaints line of a company.
But it does say it, doesn't it? Usually there's a little asterisk, and if you look down it will say you're being charged for this.
What may be said is the actual cost you pay. The fact that part of that money is being passed on to the other side is not generally recognised.
So if you're on a line, on an 0845 line, and someone's talking, it's at your expense.
Not only are you paying your telephone company for connecting the call, you are also passing money to the person receiving your call for the privilege of taking time to speak with you.
So if Ofcom's forcing providers to warn people about this, will that help?
What Ofcom is doing is it's picking out 0870, which has always been the worst of these numbers, and trying to institute change. Change is happening from Saturday. Companies using 0870 numbers will no longer get any money, but many of the telephone companies will still continue to charge more for the calls, which is absurd. That's the thing we've got to get our heads around.
Why do we have these numbers? I mean, if you're phoning a credit card company or an insurance and you have to use an 0870 number, why can't you just use the number that an ordinary telephone number?
The reason they come into place is to give revenue to the people at the other end to help them run their call centre and provide their services. Whether that should be at the expense of callers or more generally come out of their cost base is a question that needs to be answered more correctly.
But for the moment, you're saying say no to 0870. I mean, can you really? Because if it's something you need, you've got to pay for it.
What we're saying at Say No to 0870 is two things. One, we say that revenue sharing, if it is going to take place ever, must be clear and must be understood. The fact that money is changing hands must be seen. Now, in the context of the new situation where 0870 numbers don't yield any money at the other end, the telephone companies must drop their rates for calling.
I suppose they'd say, well, these companies, if they don't raise it that way, they'll raise it some other way.
Yes, but the question is, what is the fair way of doing it? If you're calling your doctor, is it right that you should be paying him money, or should that money be coming out of taxation, the way the NHS is supposed to be funded?
OK, thank you. That's David Hickson there.